to go.
Hello ladies and gentlemen to another Division video. Yes, in this video I will present you another build, and this build I think it's really underrated. I use it really a lot in Skirmish and Last Stand, and I think for me personally it works really well. Yeah, I'm not a PvP specialist or professional in there, but if it works for me then I'm sure it will work much better for you out there as well. Gameplay you can see at the end of the video here. I recorded a full run on Skirmish, on a Skirmish match where I was queuing solo. It was a pretty good fight, and I think it was pretty equal teams. And yeah, just have a look and enjoy the gameplay at the end. Anyway, let's get right into the build which I'm talking about. It's Final Measure, which you see here, and built a little bit different as most of the builds I saw so far, because most of the builds are more kind support build. I would say it's a support build as well, but because I log in and queue solo very often, this works much better for myself, because yeah, most of the people just run headless or brainless into the fight, and then you stand there often by yourself, and you have not that often a coordinated team if you queue solo. So that's why I prefer this build much more. If you see the stats on the top, so 7-3 firearms, 5-6 stamina, so it's a pretty tanky build, and 3-2 electronics, so one mod into electronic to unlock some stats. Actually, it was another stat which I don't use at the moment, so I could change this as well, so I could run a little bit more firearms too. But let's get right into the build. I don't go too much into the details of Final Measure. I think most of you know it already. I think the one or the two things where this build really shines is the EDR, Exotic Damage Resilience, 40% in total with the 5-piece bonus, and of course the 4 and 6 piece where you can catch grenades from the enemies and you get a buff and your whole team gets a buff. So this is really insane. It is really insane, trust me. So if you catch a frag grenade, if you see on the where it is in the middle, frag or insignia grenade, then the weapon damage is increased by 40% for 8 seconds for your whole team within 30 meters, and this is quite a lot. So if you will see, I don't have any damage buffs for my weapons on the build bonuses here, but I can get up to 33.1k base damage on my house if I catch a grenade, and this is really insane, I would say, with booster shot. So 33.1k base damage, and then you can melt pretty much every build out there. And yeah, a really advantage of course is as well the exotic damage against grenades, stickies and pred as well. But pred, they can still deplete, it's pretty hard as well. It doesn't matter how much EDR you have, actually, for me personally at least. So let's go to the stats. As you see here, the chest piece is rolled into stamina with 2 firearms mods with skill haste, and the stats I'm using here is health, skill haste and ammo capacity. So the mask is rolled into crit chance, burn resistance, and again a mod into skill haste with stamina. Then the knee pads rolled into firearms with a skill haste firearms mod and a pulse crit hit chance mod. And they are rolled into health, disorient, shock, complete resistance. Of course I would swap out disorient if I could, then I would run burn resistance instead if I would be able to. Then let's go to the backpack. Backpack is rolled into firearms as well, and the mod here, as I said, I can't change it because I'm full, but I will change this one here to a skill haste firearms mod, and as well here pulse crit hit chance mod. Then let's go ahead to the gloves. The gloves are rolled into firearms, then SMG damage, crit hit damage and skill haste. So as you see right now, it's a lot into skill haste. I really like this a lot, especially if I queue solo. If I run solo stuff, then skill haste is one of the most important stats, at least for me. And the holster, all high stats all over the board of course, and again a pulse crit hit chance mod on this one here, and it's rolled into skill haste as well. So let's go ahead to the weapon. My secondary is the Big L. I just like the Big L. I can't say exactly why, but it looks pretty cool, and yeah, I like it quite a lot. So, but of course you can run whatever you like. On this one I have Deadly Vicious because yeah, usually I use this from further distance and I'm on full health most often if I use this one here. And for close range fights I have my House and House with responsive deadly and card counter, so I don't go the mods. I think it's pretty equal, all the same builds with crit chance for PvP. And let's have a look quickly on the character sheet, but let's go to the House here, which is my main gun. And as you can see, it's 35% without the pulse, then crit hit damage 114. It's not the highest you will see out there, definitely not, but as I said, I have other topics I'm looking at on this build, and this is not the most important one for me. So as you see here, I have 40% skill haste, and this is one of the most important things for myself, which I'm looking at on this build, and survivability as well, which I have 325,000 maximum health on this build. So it's quite a lot, I would say. And of course the exotic damage resilience as well, but I showed it to you already on the build stats. Let's go to the abilities. I run this build with a concealed pulse, and yeah, as you see here, I have 16.1% crit chance if nobody else on the other team runs a scrambler as well. Then this works pretty damn good, let's say it this way. And then, as you can remember before, then I have 50% crit chance and around 120% around this one crit damage, and of course the crit chance for the whole team. So if somebody runs LMGs or ARs or whatever, then this works really well. And this build I usually run with the survival link for the team, so I really like to rush them because many use shock turrets, many use flame turrets and whatever, and so you can just run through. And as you see on the cooldowns, it's pretty low compared to other builds, especially the pulse, 30 seconds on this one, and for the box 21.7. So that's why I do really prefer to have skill haste, so I can use the pulse almost every time. The talents I use on this build, this is the wrong one. I don't know why I changed this the last time. But I run the adrenaline, of course, against spread marks. So if you pop a med kit, then you can melt them pretty fast after you popped it. And I use crit save, of course, combat medic if I run in a group, and strike back to have furthermore skill cooldowns or increased skill cooldowns if I'm on low health. So these are my preferred talents on this build. I guess this is already it for the build. If you have any questions, then just let me know down below in the comment sections. And yeah, thanks a lot for the like, thanks a lot for watching, enjoy the gameplay at the end, see you in the next one. Don't waste any time, happy grinding for the next global event, which starts tomorrow. If you have questions for this one as well, then just let me know, I will answer all of them in my comments down below. Have fun, happy grinding agents, and see you soon in my next one. Enjoy the gameplay. Bye-bye.
We are active. We're in front now. kills to go. Minutes until victory. Got 5 kills left. minute to go. They've lost the lead. That's a win.
Additional hostiles incoming.